Hild is born into a world in transition. In 7th century Britain, small kingdoms are merging, usually violently. A new religion is coming ashore. The old gods' priests are worrying. Edwin of Northumbria plots to become overking of the Angles, ruthlessly using every tool at his disposal: blood, bribery, belief. Hello and welcome to Liam's Lyceum. I'm your host Liam, aka Himbar, and today I'll be doing a spoiler-free review of Nicola Griffith's Hild. Hild is a 2013 novel by Nicola Griffith, and it is first in a trilogy. The second novel, Menawood, having just released, it'll probably be a while before it is finished. This is an author recommended to me by Raf Blutax, and this book was recommended to me specifically by Dr. Nelson Jaring. Once I found out it was about St. Hilda of Whitby, I was immediately interested. Hild is a child of 3 at the start. Her family lives in exile with the Whale, but she is of noble Daeun blood, the daughter of Hereric, the nephew of King Edwin. Her mother, Breguswith, takes care of her and her sister in exile, and right at the start we learn their father has died. This Welsh kingdom is Elmeth, one of the Cumbric-speaking nations in the north, along with Regith and Gododin. This is the early 7th century, the time of conversion for the Angles and Saxons, from the Celts and the Romans, to be honest. The world is different. There's petty kingdoms and war abounds. Visions and paganism, harps and oaths are present. But at the same time, it is still, a world full of humans. Take that as you will, right? And this time will lead to a defining moment of history, the Synod of Whitby. In chapter 2, she is 6 and then 7, and the story really becomes a bit more gripping here. Hild is a child of light, one seemingly gifted, and a guide to her people. Since this isn't fantasy, it really seems like she's intelligent, cunning, and guided and helped, and maybe a tad lucky. Griffith immediately immerses you with gentle prose and words barely changed from the Old English. I think this leaves many readers likely missaying these words, since English is, spelt as Anglish, Anglisc, with an SC at the end, but it would still say this Anglish. Similarly, Yesith has a Y sound in Old English, but it's spelled with Gesith. Curdle is spelled in Old English as Cyrtel, which seems unnecessary since that's insanely close to the modern spelling of curdle. But I guess, again, it adds to the atmosphere. Cool words include, Middle-earth, Shope, Erendil, and Earfinger. Similarly, the weaving is historically accurate in ways we normally don't think. The men make war and farm while the women weave, and in a smaller part, even take care of the house and children. And there's some still cool stuff in here, like Northumbria's conquest of the Isle of Man, Cadman, and we get an idea of the diverse pupils and polities of the North at this time. It's a rather slow-paced coming-of-age, though. There's much political maneuvering and interesting characters and great historical knowledge on show. It's kind of boring, not as engrossing as I would have liked, and that's kind of important when you're reading a novel. I feel like it should be entertaining, hopefully first and foremost. The forward motion or thrill or engrossing parts are pretty much non-existent, at least they were for me. You just kind of read through. Fans of slice of life will likely enjoy this because of that. And again, it is kind of a coming of age as well. I think if it had been a little shorter, then I would have enjoyed it much more. It's obviously paced slowly on purpose, or at least it felt like it was on purpose. I want to read book 2, but I think I'll put it off since it's even longer than book 1. The Yamacha thing is made up for the book here, and I found it okay. Much of St. Hilda's life is unknown, so much of this is fiction and speculative, like historiography, and it is a nice moving away from the great man story. It's got elements but focuses on social aspects. In fact, it shines a light on the so-called Dark Ages, as good historians do, and it's about forging identity, history, narrative, but what for? Well, for survival. Religion is also treated well in light of faith and pragmatism. It's not making Christians out to be evil, though they might not be all in on their belief or honest about it. The positives here are the immersion, which really will be seen as a double-edged sword. Also, the female protagonist making a name for herself and carving a place for herself. It is cool, too. The different peoples and religions are shown in fair lights. Again, no one is evil or paragons of virtue. They're just kind of people. And getting to see pagan Anglo-Saxons is cool to see, since we really only get their writings once they convert. And we don't have many sources from this time period. I think Griffith does a great job weaving together many themes through the story. For me, I just got bored somewhere along the way, and it may be that I'd just rather have read a history book on that period, uh, which isn't really an insult. I like reading history books on this period, but check it out for yourself. This might be something that works for you. And again, like I said, the people who recommend it to me probably know much more, but as far as literature are concerned, and definitely Dr. Nelson Jerry knows more about the time period than I do by any means. So they have better opinions, I'm sure. Anyways, those are just my thoughts. I would like to try more out by Griffith as well, though. So we'll see. Anyways, Liam from Liam's Lyceum. I'll catch you next time.